June 2007 Core 4 question 4. I like this question. Starts off with just having to put some numbers into this formula here. Find out the length of the hamster when it's born. So it's born when time is 0. So sticking a 0 up the top in there, we've got 15 minus 12 e to the 0. Of course, e to the 0 is 1. So you're just doing 15 take away 12. So it starts at 3 centimeters. Exactly the same thing to do, but now for 2 marks on the second one, we're now taking 14 and sticking 14 in there. Let's get the calculator to do that one. So we're doing 15, take away 12, e to the minus t, which was 14 over 14, and that gives us 10.58. Let's write down 10.58 and then realise that we'd actually, or 10.585 even, and then realise that we'd actually lose a mark for that because it says leave it to 3 significant figures. So make sure you do the rounding properly, that we get 10.6 centimetres. Part B, there's 3 marks for this. A lot of people get 2 of them because we've got to leave it in this particular form. We want the hamster now to be 10 centimetres, so let's put the 10 where the x is and now rearrange this to try and find out what t is going to be. If I add the 12 e to the t over minus t over 14 to that side, I'm going to take away the 10 from this side. So I'm going to get 15 take away 10, which is 5. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And now I'm going to ln both sides. Take the natural log of this side, gives me minus t over 14. And the natural log of that side, ln of that side, is the ln of 5/12. Times both sides by minus 14, and you get t equals minus 14, the ln of this. And that gets us 2 marks. It's not quite in the format we would ask to leave it in, though, because this has got a 14 here, not a minus 14. Now, this minus here is outside this ln, so really it's a power that could end up going up there. So we could say that this is the same as 5 over 12 to the power of minus 1. And that means that this is 14, the ln of 12 over 5. We flip the fraction because it's to the power of minus 1. So a lot of people only got 2 of the 3 there. Find this time to the nearest day. That just means tapping this in, or actually you could just tap what you had in there in as well. Not a problem. And that gives 12.256. It says in the nearest day, then that's 12 days. This next part has come up a few times recently. It says differentiate it. It just says find out what dx by dt is. Don't worry about the answer at the moment. Let's just differentiate this thing. Finding out what dx by dt is. And dx by dt, well, the 15, well, that just disappears. The minus 12, e to the minus t over 14. Of course, the e stays the same, but you're going to times by the number of the power up here. Well, that's timesing by 1 over 14, and minus 1 over 14 at that. So we've got 12 over 14 e to the minus t over 14. The interesting thing about that is it looks very similar to what we started with. And if I take this thing here and try and rearrange it again, I could say that 12 e to the minus t over 14, if I add that on that side and take off the x, that's the same as 15 take away x. Look, if I divide that by 14, and I divide that by 14, divide both sides by 14, they're still equal. And look, that's exactly what I wanted here. Now you're going to need to do a bit more showing that, but that would be the way of doing it. So we've got 15 take away x over 14. Again, just tap the number in here. When x is equal to 8, 15 take away 8 is 7. 7 divided by 14. That one there gives an answer of a half. Mark scheme to it there. That's the first part. Just the numbers we got. And the bit that I just did there. So you'll need to take a little bit of time showing that. I just explained how you might go ahead and do it.